Hello good citizens, Ryan, mild-mannered chef here, and today we're making tomato soup and grilled cheese. Well, tomato soup and grilled cheese are such a classic pairing that I rarely think of one without thinking of the other. If I'm having tomato soup, I want grilled cheese. If I'm having grilled cheese, I want some tomato soup to go with it. Well, today we're going to visit. We're going to make everything from scratch, a nice creamy tomato soup. We'll blend it up so that it's nice and smooth, and then we're going to work on a grilled cheese sandwich that really lives up to the quality of soup that we're having. It's got a nice crisp crust on it that makes it perfect for dunking. So the first thing we'll do is build our soup. We're going to need like a medium, you could use a medium yellow onion. I have a shallot here. You don't have to worry too much about the size of it because we're going to blend this soup anyway. 3 cloves of garlic and a nice rough chop on this. Over medium-low heat. I'll put in some olive oil here. You could use butter, that would actually be really good. Canola oil, vegetable oil would also work. We don't want to caramelize our shallots and garlic. We're just sweating them, which means we're going to pull the moisture out of them and soften them up. Just so that they blend nice and easy and release all of their flavor into the soup. So we're going to cook this kind of slow. It'll take 5-6 minutes maybe. Something that'll help pull some of that moisture out. It's a nice big heavy pinch of kosher salt. To this mixture, we're going to add tomato paste. I'm going to saute that with our shallot and garlic. I want to deglaze this with a little bit of stock, maybe a half a cup or so. Just enough to deglaze. Scrape all that flavor up from the bottom. And then I'm going to go in with a 28-ounce can of whole tomatoes. And then I'm going to just cover that the rest of the way up with some vegetable broth. You could use chicken stock. You could use water if you wanted to. You don't want to add your milk yet because you don't want it to break. So now we're going to bring this up to a simmer. Let it cook for about 10 minutes. Salt's right where I want it to be. Texture's really good. It's nice and smooth. It's delicious. Now, tomato soup and grilled cheese, it's all about the nostalgia factor. And if we're talking about nostalgia, the grilled cheese would have something like American cheese on it. These plastic wrapped slices that we get in the big box stores. Listen, American cheese gets a lot of shade thrown its way. I'm not one of those people, all right? American cheese definitely has its place in the cooking world. On top of a smash burger, it is perfect. Creamy, cheesy sauces, it's really good. Even in something like this, if what you're making at home wants this, that gooey, creamy kind of cheese, you could use an American cheese. Now, I really want to take my grilled cheese up a notch. We took all this time to make a great tomato soup. Let's make a great grilled cheese to go with it. Like 4 elements when it comes to a really great grilled cheese. I want it to be creamy, I want it to be rich, I want it to be kind of funky, and I want it to be a little refined too. To get that, I'm going to use 4 different cheeses. For creamy, I'm going to use a nice Gruyere. For rich, I'm going to use a traditional yellow cheddar cheese. For some funky, I've got a cave-aged 2-year white cheddar cheese. And then for refined, I'm going to use a little bit of manchego. This is my favorite cheese. I'm always looking for an excuse to throw it in things. Let's get to cutting the cheese. Now, the best way I know to get these cheeses broken down to where they're small and even enough to melt nice and smooth is to grate it. So I'm going to grate these cheeses, going for equal parts of the first three, and then we'll just add a little bit of manchego in as well. All right, so I'm going to combine these three. The manchego I will actually slice. Do want to pull this rind off. Your white sandwich bread is pretty traditional when it comes to grilled cheese, but we've got a great local bakery here, the Bluegrass Bakery. I picked up some of their levain. It's got a really nice crust on it. We'll take our cheese, put it on both sides. I'm gonna add a little salted butter. You don't want to go too hot too fast, or you'll end up burning the bread before your cheese melts. It's a beautiful sound. Cutting a grilled cheese is just as important as cooking it. So if we're looking at dipping, which is exactly what I want to do with this, if I cut this way, then I'm going to be missing some dipping opportunity. So I want to cut this on a nice, hard, sharp bias. That'll give me maximum dippability. It's delicious. Salted butter on the outside really makes a great difference. There's sweetness in those tomatoes and all those different cheeses working together to give such a great complexity to this grilled cheese. Absolutely delicious. I'm so happy. Well, good citizens, thank you so much for tuning in today. If you liked the video, hit like or subscribe. Feel free to leave a comment below if there are any dishes that you'd like to see me cook. Until next time, this is Ryan, mild-mannered chef, reminding you that not all heroes wear capes. Some wear aprons.